Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. I'm going to answer a viewer letter today about tire size. And every time I think about tire size, I think about my days as an AGCO territory manager. And I had a dealer who used to love to eat on me. And he was a retired fighter pilot. He's gone now, God rest his soul. But he would sit me down in a chair and chew on me about all the things wrong with the equipment world and with the other dealers and with competition and our company. And one of the main complaints he had was he couldn't get any inventory to sell. If he had more inventory, he'd sell more, but he didn't have enough tractors. And I had trouble getting him to order tractors a lot. But another story. The hottest selling Massey tractor at that time was a 383. And I loved a 383. It had a Perkins engine. It was a simple, reliable tractor. We sold a ton of them in this area. And every time I was talking to distribution, which was about once a day, the last thing I'd say to them before I hung up the phone was, do you have any 383s? Because they were in short supply. And they were made in the UK, in Coventry, England, a plant that made a great product, shipped to the US, and we had ports in Baltimore and Charleston and Houston that we could pull from. And one day I was on the phone to distribution. I said, do you have any 383s? They always said no. They said, yes, we've got one here with no order against it. I said, put my name on it. Ship it to my guy in Wheaton, Missouri. Wheaton Tractor. I got him inventory. I was so proud of myself. I found a 383 when 383s didn't exist. Well, a couple of weeks later, I'm pulling in the driveway at Wheaton Tractor, and there is the oddest looking tractor I've ever seen. It's a 383 all right, but it's got these great big tall tires on it that are, it's like bicycle tires, big old tall tire, really, really narrow. Like, who ordered that? And I'm like, oh, I ordered that. And then it hit me. 383s only came one way, unless you special ordered the tobacco special. And folks in tobacco country need to get into narrow rows and for whatever reason need tall tires. I don't know why. But this was a tobacco special. It was not saleable in southwest Missouri. And I got to hear about it and hear about it and hear about it. I thought they might fire me because we trucked it all the way from Charleston port to Missouri. And then, of course, it had to go back to tobacco country. But I got that handled, kept my job, life was good. Every time I think about tire size, I think about that funky 383 with those 15.538 tires on the back. Well, let's talk about tire size today. Letter is from Shawn, and Shawn's getting ready to buy a new tractor. And he says, I have a choice regarding tire circumference. And by the way, I'm going to ask your opinion at the end of it. I'm going to give you my opinion on tire circumference. And then if you've got a different opinion, I love having people that disagree with me because sometimes I'll learn something, but put your comments at the end. Shawn says, I have spent hours trying to get input regarding advantages of one circumference over the other to no avail. Obviously, land type and tractor use play a role. However, without understanding what a taller tire does different from a shorter tire, it's a toss of a coin making such a decision. And it could have a large effect on the tractor's usable functioning. And then he talks about some of the stuff he does in his terrain and everything else. And my reaction to this, Shawn, is if you're a farmer, in other words, if you pull tillage items and planters and things like that, row crop farmer, you tend to want to get the tallest, widest tire you can. And that's for traction and for being able to get out in wet conditions and for field work and things like that. So you get a big tire, and you want a big tire, and when you're ordering the tractor, you order a big tire. Now, for those of us in smaller tractor country, I don't personally think the tire size makes that much difference. When I worked for Massey, the 383 came one way, except for the tobacco special, but they had other tractors where they had options. And the optioned tractors with the different tires you could get were an inventory nightmare. We might have a tractor where you could get 18.430s or 14.928s or 14.924s or 16.930s and what those numbers mean, the 16.9 or the 14.9, whatever that is the width of the tire, and the 30 or the 24 or the 28 or the 34 or the 42 is the circumference of the rim. So the higher the second number, the taller the tractor is going to be, and the higher the first number, the wider the tire is going to be. So we had tractors where you had maybe 8 or 10 different tire options. Well, that's all well and good if you've got somebody that needs a particular type of tire. And then sometimes you'd have bias tires in base and you could order radial tires, so that made even more choices. And then you had front tires that might come in different choices on a two-wheel drive tractor. Now I'm going to say on four-wheel drive you got to match the back tire with the front tire. The front tire's got to pull a little faster than the back tire. There's ratios that have to be followed because when you're in four-wheel drive, you can't run the same speed because they're different circumferences, but the front tire's got to run just a little faster so it pulls the tractor along. If it doesn't, if it's running slower, it'll try to dig or plow and pull the back tires back, and that's bad for everything. Anyway, on a two-wheel drive tractor, you've got options for the front tires. You've got 750 16s or 1000 15s or what, 1000 16s, 1100 60. You had all these configurations. So in the end, the problem was one dealer would order one size tire, another dealer would order another size tire, everybody ordered maybe a different size tire, and then when it came to a transfer, when you needed to sell a tractor you didn't have on your lot and you needed to transfer it, and we did that a lot, it wouldn't be available. So I don't like having a lot of tire choices. And in the end, generally the dealers would order about the cheapest size they could to keep their price down, because if you ordered a more deluxe tire on your tractor, you'd be at a price disadvantage with your neighboring dealer. And that inline competition is a big deal with all dealers. So long and the short of it is, I don't like having a lot of tire choices. Now here's my personal opinion about tires and sizes, and you can argue with me if you want to. If I'm a farmer, I want the biggest tractor tire I can get, circumference, tread width, and everything that'll fit in between my rows, because I use the tractor to pull heavy loads. If I'm a weekend farmer, a guy that doesn't farm for a living but brush hogs his pastures and all that stuff, if I'm on level ground, I don't care what size tire I get. Absolutely don't care. If I'm on hills, I want the lowest tractor I can get. So if I had to choose between a 24-inch rim and a 28-inch rim, I'm going to go with a 24 because I want to keep my center of gravity as low as possible. Now some of you may see in some of my videos a Massey tractor that sits way low to the ground. And you may know I grew up on an apple orchard, and on an apple orchard you want the lowest possible tractor you can get because you're going underneath apple trees. And Dad had a Massey tractor with 16.9/24 tires on it, which are low and wide. It was a 62 horse tractor, and I inherited that tractor when he passed away, and it's great on these hills I live on now because you're sitting low, and it's a straddle mount tractor, so you're around the transmission when you're sitting on the tractor seat, your ankles are, and so it's really low and really stable on hills. Now here is my opinion about tires. I don't think with rim size there's any difference in wear if you go with a 24-inch rim or 28-inch rim. I don't think there's much difference in traction, taller versus narrower. Your taller tire will not have as much torque pull as your lower tire. You're multiplying torque and you're reducing that with a taller tire. So bring that into consideration, but the gearing of the tractor should take care of that. So Shawn, to answer your question, if you're on hills, get the lower tire circumference. If you're on level ground, get the whatever you want. Lower, taller, doesn't matter. There's other things that you could think about getting on and off the tractor. With a taller tire is going to be a little rougher. If you're going into a low garage or barn with a low overhang, you'll want the lower tractor too, and that does make a difference on a cab tractor. I've known guys that were just an inch or two off on getting in the barn with a cab tractor, and if they'd gotten a lower tire, they'd have been able to get under it. So to answer your question, my opinion, it doesn't matter what size tractor, if you get 24s, 28s, 30s, whatever size you get, unless you're farming. Now, what's your opinion? Have you had experiences where you say, I've tried this size tire, it didn't work, I got this size tire and it did? put those in the comments down below and we'll all know. But I don't like it when manufacturers offer a lot of tire choices because of the inventory situation. And I have had customers that will ask me, when I was working in the dealership world, you know, I'd have an 18430. Can I get 18434s on that tractor? And a lot of times you couldn't. And usually it wouldn't kill the deal. They had a preference for a size tire. But usually whatever you get's going to work. And especially in a tight inventory situation like we're in right now, you kind of got to get what you can find available for immediate shipment, or wait for a long time for the tractor company to build it. So that's my opinion. If you have different responses, put them in the comments down below. Thanks for watching my videos. I'd be honored if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's real easy to do. Just click the mic face icon and check the bell so you get a notification when I post future videos. Here's a link to my website that helps support my channel. Got cool items for sale for the tractor owner. And here's another video you might want to watch. Thanks for watching.